Hello everybody. My name is Hayden Van Keisel. Bonjour à tous, je m'appelle Hayden Van Keisel. I'd like to welcome you all here today, where I'd like to reflect with you on the experiences of the graduating grade 6 class. Our elementary experience has been a journey. There have been good experiences, learning experiences, and challenging experiences. And now, I'd like to take you through our adventure. I was 6 years old when I first came to Robert H. Smith School. I was nervous because I didn't know anybody there. Then again, I guess everybody would be nervous on their first day of school. As time went on, I managed to make more friends and become more familiar with my environment. By the time I got to grade 6, I was still nervous, as I was every time I was going into a new grade. I find we're feeling in a very similar situation now that we're going into a new school with new teachers and new classmates. But instead of talking about the future, let's talk a bit about the past. A good moment we received from Robert H. Smith was camp. When we were first going to camp, we had no idea what to expect. There were thoughts about what it might be like, and when we finally got to it, it was one of the highlights of our school endeavors. There were tons of activities like rock climbing, canoeing, archery, and kayaking, and that's just to knock off a few. When we were at camp, it was a good exposure because all the grades and classrooms seemed to blend into one community. It was an important time for us to bond and something that will be remembered forever. A memory of the graduating grade 6 class would have to be, of course, the musical. The musical was a great thing to go through because it allowed our creative juices to flow. All of the singing, dancing, humor in the musical was great to express in front of an audience. It even gave us a chance to get to know some of the other classrooms better. And just like camp, it brought us together. The musical turned out to be fantastic, and much more than we would have expected it to be. Now, I would like to take a minute to talk about a personal experience of mine that not everybody went through. That experience is brain group. Brain group is not something everybody knows about, but it had an effect on my time here because it gave me a day once in a while where I had somewhere to go. That's one of the joys of Robert H. Smith. It gave me a place to belong, a place where I always felt welcome. I can't go without mentioning some of the things that were made possible by all of you here today. The community breakfasts, the family dances, and the community picnics are a few that come to mind. Like I've touched on before, Robert H. Smith has a very great sense of community. Because we've heard some of the great moments of the past, let's start thinking about the future. Around the beginning of the speech, I told you all I was nervous about grade 1, grade 6, and now grade 7. I believe that we're all going to be nervous for any big moment in our lives, but we learn that it's worth it. It's always going to be worth it. It's something to look forward to. And to the grade 5s in the audience, we want to give you a word of advice about grade 6. You may be nervous about going into a new and final grade, but really, there's not going to be a huge change. The biggest change you're going to notice is that you're going to have to be more independent, and you're going to have to think more of yourself. You're not always going to have a teacher telling you what to do and when to do it. And also, you're going to have a bit more homework than grade 5. But even though there's some changes, being nervous is a normal thing to go through. You'll be fine. In conclusion, our school experience has been a long one. There were many bumps in the road, and there were more stars in the sky. Our experience would not be the same without the teachers, students, and even the volunteers. And because our elementary experience was so amazing, I'm confident that our middle school and high school experiences will be amazing too. Even though some of us will stay together and some will go our separate ways. In our time at Robert H. Smith, we all needed each other. And without each other, we wouldn't be where we are today. So, on behalf of the graduates, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. Grade 1 to 5s, family, teacher, and faculty. Felicitations, mes amis. For those of